actually works out.
Yep, like I'm just up now.
Yep.
All right, yeah, I got the stream going, so you guys can go ahead and pick your heroes and get going with some stuff. So that's it's an exciting time to be in the GG tournament, 5G tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let me grab these. All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for putting this together.
Yeah, thanks for participating. Super happy to have you guys here. And,
so is this another one where you're commenting, or it's like free?
Yep, so I'll be commentating this one with Speed this time. So after like you guys get all the stuff set up, I'll go ahead and hop out, and you can just message me if you have any questions or anything like that.
Sounds good. Are you doing deck checks? Am I correct on that?
Yep, I'll do deck checks.
Sounds good. Josh has been known to forget hero threes.
Oh no.
Have all tactics, no heroes. He's you gotta watch him.
Yeah, like a hawk, like a hawk.
Yeah, he likes playing hard mode. All right, I'm good with my three if you are with yours.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Do you want to do one at a time or all at once?
Yeah, let's go all at once.
Sounds good.
All right, what do we got?
Ooh, all right.
Sport.
Wow, this is exciting.
This is an exciting.
I like it. Bolt Bender is awesome.
We're in for a great match, I think.
Oh, for sure. Oh, wow, that was a fast ban.
That was a fast ban.
All right, I'll ban this one.
Okay, go ahead and flip them.
All right.
All right.
Ooh, the Spore Lord ban, huh?
Interesting.
Wild. All right. All right. Not a Spore Lord fan, huh? Or maybe it's an unknown. Interesting. All right. All right. I see you. I see you. And this is the one we're playing, right? That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep. That's right. This is the one you're playing.
1. Oh.
Yep.
All right. Millie
All right.
versus Spirit. Oh, this is so exciting.
All right, so what's the play? You just basically, I don't have it saved, which I should have made it previously in TTS. Can I just like add these all to my hand and make it right here really quick?
Yep, you bet. Totally fine. I'll just go ahead and make it so we can't see what you're doing. Don't spoil any secrets.
Put all this stuff into my hand. It'll be great.
is visible, yeah. Absolutely, yeah, sure. So how is the commentating thing going?
Sounds good. All right.
And are you using aux recorder?
I want to say yes. Yeah. Right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Yeah, you too. I'm gonna mulligan.
Keeping.
Okay, Spee, how's it going?
How's it going? Long time no see.
Long time no see. Gotta be feeling some pressure lifted now that your game's over and you advance to the next round.
Yes, I did feel nervous like before that, but now at least I got the flashy play. I was going for the flashy play, so now I'm happy.
Nice. That was a really, really cool play. Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
just
and MC was pressuring me nicely.
Yeah. Oh, I was at the start of that match. I was like, I don't know what Speed does here, because like his Bulgriff is basically pinned. You know, that was crazy. All right, and it looks like Cornix is the first to go this game. So Cornix is Spirit, of course, and Chad is Nil. So yeah, I think this will be really interesting.
Yeah, this will be a fun matchup for sure. I would expect that Cornix with Spirit tries to go probably more for tempo, and Chad likes both big combo plays and also playing for value, and Nili is also great at just controlling the board. So I think there's be big battles on the battlefield.
Cool. Yeah, I'm super excited to see how it plays out.
Okay, we have just a nice Hunter 2 start so far.
Speed, what's your thought on starting if you're first with putting a fighter down and like showing the trait disadvantage versus drawing first turn? Do you have an opinion on like what's better there?
I guess it can depend on what kind of deck and strategy you want to play, but usually I'm really happy to see just basic fighters and putting down like any kind of basic fighters, because then you can start playing. And even if you get like out traded in the columns, at least there's something on the board and you can start doing something already.
Cool. So yeah, we've already got a small stack over here, and then a Brute 3 just popped out for the first time. So that's exciting.
Yes, this is looking nice. Yeah, looking nice for Chad so far, but there's only basics on the board.
Yep, nothing else revealed yet. I think it's kind of interesting to see who plays tactics first, who plays heroes first.
Yeah, I would expect that Chad would like to get value out of the Brute 3 and maybe also trade it off before Spirit shows up, because if anyone's playing a Spirit deck, it's gotta have Ambush, and if it has Ambush, then it also has big Hunters.
Yes.
So that's scary.
Yeah, it is. And Elder's out too, so that could lead to some interesting situations.
Okay, I think with Elder out, I mean, regardless that there's now Brutes 2 in the middle, Brute Force is also potential on any 2-power fighter, so that's also something to watch out for.
Yeah, great point. I hadn't even considered that aspect of that benefit.
Yeah, it's kind of sneaky, because you wouldn't think that Brute Force is like a card that Shard really loves, but I find that it fits really easily into multiple decks.
Okay, so he turned that Brute into a soldier to go ahead and play the Orc Berserker, it looks like.
Okay, and it's also protected from stuff like Earthquake or Tunnel Collapse, so it's looking nice.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I also like the advancing both of the Hunter 2s, because the Goblin Hunter 2 now keeps the Brute 3 in check. It can just like move up or sideways if it wants to. And you also want to get rid of Goblin Elder before it does more shenanigans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, and the Echo Hunter also stops the Orc Berserker just advancing up.
That's true. Yeah, because I can get that trade before it can kill the 3.
Yep. Also, Reverend tucked away nicely in the corner.
Pretty inaccessible at the moment with Goblin Elder in that corner.
But also maybe Chad is a little bit sick today because he didn't have Reverend first turn.
Not optimal play.
Not typical Chad, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what options Cornix is looking at right now. I wonder what he's got in his hand that he might be considering.
Can Elder also... Yeah, Elder can also grant a trait to himself, so
Yes.
you can also potentially stack up against the hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Elder is such a versatile card. You know, it makes so many different cards effective in massive ways. Like you could have Master of the Hunt with like some brutes running around, not fatigued because Elder. Obviously, yeah, like you mentioned, brute force, stacking, just so many different versatile uses for that in Hero 1.
Yes, definitely. And I think what's sneaky about Elder is that his ability doesn't really seem that exciting or strong, so you kind of just like, okay, forgetting about him, but if you leave him up, then he can cause some trouble.
Mm-hmm. And I think Cornix still hasn't made any move this turn, so he's definitely thinking about it. Okay, so he put a trait on Orc Berserker. Okay, put Brute on him. So we've got Hunters, Soldiers, Brutes, and a Hero all in that stack right now.
Beautiful.
Yes, this is how the game was meant to be played. Oh, and a
Well, now
Spirit.
Spirit is also in play.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so now that's scary for the Brute 3 because the Hunter 3 can, or the Hunter 2 can just advance up and then you can play ambush.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there's no easy way of just getting rid of Spirit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I
Oh,
think.
by the way, did
Go ahead.
Chad miss a cultist draw already? Didn't he have Reverend on the previous turn?
I think he just drew a cultist. I'm not sure if he drew for his turn as well.
Yeah, it's also a nice shout out from Zero that now the version is also live for Berserker. But yes, I think Chad has seen some tricks in his life, so I'm pretty sure that he's aware, and that's why he's stacking the Brute one.
Yeah, that's nice protection over there.
Yeah, which is nice to have the Brute 3 protected, but he's now also not in play, so it will take extra effort to get him revealed and have him do some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a really nice board state for Cornix so far.
Yes, I think it looks nice for Cornix so far until something like Servant and Forgefather or nearly hits the board. So
Yeah.
probably this is now the time for him to push before any of that Telgum madness happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably just a little mix up there with that stack. Yeah, so he puts them up and deploys a 1 on top of the Hunter 2. Interesting.
Red, I see your comment that I'm more hoping for Predator's Reach this time.
Low country.
Because, but now Elder is hidden, but if Elder is in play, then Predator's Reach is also a thing.
Yeah, Predator's Reach, another one of that mix. Okay, so he takes off the Brute and plays a Hunter 2 down in this corner.
Yeah, it seems like everyone is being cautious so far. No tactics have been played.
Yeah.
There's only just like little meat shields put on the stacks and then the meat shields cleared out, but nothing major happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I always think this is a pretty interesting board state when it gets to this point where someone has something in their gates, has 2 stacks pushed up, and then you've got this almost little Tetris shape here in the other person's. You can very much tell just by looking at who's on the offensive and who's on the defensive.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I think, probably not yet, but there could be some potential for Chad to do some nasty plays with Immolation, trying to hit all 3 stacks. Maybe if you can get some power 3s in the middle, that would be the ideal way.
Yeah, that could be a really good play for him.
It's also nice to see how interconnected all of the fighters are, because they are covering for each other. Spirit can't just take out the Hunter or Reverend, because then the Brutes can just kill off. Ooh, but it does. Never mind that. I think you definitely sacrifice the Brute 1 and 3 now.
I think
Spirit.
so. I think you really don't want Spirit on the board for that long. Because that ambush play is out there. I mean, you've got so many different terrible shenanigans that Spirit can do. Okay, so he stacks a Hunter 3 on top of himself. Okay.
Yeah, this makes more sense. But I guess it's still open for something like Forge Father and Ultimate Sack on the Hunter 3. I think he has enough cards for that. If he needs 8 in hand. And he has 9, so that should work.
Yeah, that would work if he has 9 cards. Thanks for the hand count. I keep mine pretty focused on the board, and so it's nice to be able to hear without moving over the whole board how many cards they both have in hand.
Yeah, sure. Also, just for completeness sake, Cornix currently has...
How much does Cornix have?
9. It's only 4.
Okay.
So Chad definitely has the hand advantage here. And they are currently even on decks as well, so 7 and 7.
Yes.
And Berserker is taken out by the Hunter 2. I think that's a nice win for Chad.
Yeah, I think so.
I wonder if there's any way for that.
Looks like he took that play back.
Huh. Yeah, but I think that's definitely something you want to take if Cornix is letting you.
Okay, so instead he decides to take off that 1 and trade here. Maybe he's trying to clear some space to deploy some other fighters on the board.
Yes, there's probably no shenanigans to save the Berserker from that Hunter 2, so it's fine to just leave them be. But then the Hunters were threatening your Brute stack in the gates, and also pressuring your back row.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really nice time to have Servant plopped in the corner for Chad, because then you can also threaten, well, not nearly because there's no space, but just Forge Father trading up and not having to waste Ultimate Sack.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, still no tactics played, I believe. I don't think we've seen any yet. Oh, and here's our first one.
Well, there you go.
Ooh,
and there's a trade up.
Wow, what a great...
Brutal.
What a great play.
Brutal.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
And now it's only just that Brute 1 trying to hang on for dear life in the gates. It's going to be real hard stopping that big stack.
Okay, so he shifts over the Hunter and plays Nilly. Curious to see if he goes for the siege here. We know he has 2 cultists in hand, so that's easy fodder for getting rid of the Hunter at the very least.
I think he would be happy to discount 6 to kill both the Hunter 3 and Spirit, but then that still leaves Elder in the gates, so there's 2 cards sieged away as well, so 8 in total. But then you should be pretty good on value if you can play the long game.
Yeah, Zero just brought up an interesting point that there's no cannon shot for Forge Father if he comes out now. So that's definitely... There's a price taken by using that cannon shot already.
Yes, but I think the tempo now is probably worth it because Forge Father might not have time to come out. And also... Zero. Currently, the hand counts are still 9 and 5 in favor of Chad. Yeah, so this is not looking great for Chad at the moment, but there's still a lot of time to stabilize and probably turn the game around.
Yes, as we have seen
Especially
earlier
with
today,
Dargon.
that can happen very quickly.
Yeah, with sneaky plays, yes, but Dagon also has like crazy value on their tactics if they can use it optimally. So it shouldn't be too much of a trouble to just like clear all of the shard hunters or shard fighters on the board in just a couple of tactics.
Absolutely. This is an interesting play by Cornix, moving up his other stack right here. Definitely puts a lot of pressure on the gates and the Brute 3. Okay. I mean, I feel like he has to take this trade, right, with the Berserker.
Yes, you definitely. The Brute doesn't even die. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Because of the ability, but it traded up. Okay. Interesting, because now Neely can. Yeah, I think it was Neely attacking.
I think he attacked with the hunter with the advantage, but both. It would have been the same either way.
Yes, but I also like Chad just leaving the gates open because it's inevitable that something walks in the gates and then you don't want to lose just another card that's taken away there. And I also believe Berserker was the first hero to die in the game. Oh no, that was Reverend already.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, it's only 2 hero ones, one on each side that's died so far, and 1 cannon shot used on the shard side. So there's still a lot of juice for everyone.
Interesting use of brute force.
Brute forcing it too.
I guess that frees up his 3 to have a little bit more space to maneuver. But that's a really interesting choice.
Yes, this is more of a temple play rather than value. And it's also said that Neely is now just stuck in place and can't even go into the gates even if it wanted to.
That's true. So he has to put something in gates or cover Neely at this point. Oh, that's a tough choice to make.
Okay, current deck counts are 4 and 4, so there's still some time before Shard can push him for the win. Chat has like a million cards in hand.
Okay, puts the 3. I think that's pretty good.
That's nice because that's forcing the Hunter 3 to trade. If you don't want to just lose it for free.
Yep, absolutely. And then he can defend against Spirit at that point for just 1 card plus 2 cultists, which is great value for him.
Oh, wait a second. Maybe Chad could be running Protect the Forge.
That's true. Okay, it stacks Forge Father on top of Ganilli.
Okay, yes, definitely looking to clear up that big stack.
What's the hand count for Chad right now?
Okay, so currently that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards for Chad and still 5 for Cornix.
Okay.
They basically just play all the cards that they throw. I think it's also a bit unfortunate that you had to stack Forge Father on top of Neely, because seeing how easily... Ooh, big Arcane Blast turn incoming.
Okay, that's going to empty his hand.
Just to quickly...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ooh, Tactics coming in. Master of the Hunt coming in, or like getting dumped into Arcane Blast. Ambush and Inspiration, I understand. Hunter 1 is fine. Master seems...
That is a really
seems like he's sure of his way.
What's his last card he had?
And it's only just Arcane Blast.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't have Burnout to follow that up. And
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nice for Forge Father to be able to move Neely. But what I was trying to say earlier is that it's also unfortunate that Neely is under Forge Father, because you rather have Neely trade off with someone, because otherwise he can get stranded.
This makes
now,
it really
Chad
scary.
is also...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, Now Chad is also threatening a siege, and currently I believe it's Cornix's turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's down only to 2 cards, while Chad still has 3. So
Yes.
Chad should have the opening first to go for the win. And if you have all of your important cards in hand already, I think you don't care about that big stack going into your gates if you can just win first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point here. And it's not like Cornix has a lot to defend with at the moment since he only has the 2 cards in hand.
He only has 1 currently.
Oh, only 1 card.
So on the Arcane Blast turn, he cleared his entire hand, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just to note, with the Arcane Blast, he's used up all of his tactics, so no
Oh,
tactics
yeah,
remaining.
Yeah.
Yes, Elder is hidden away, Berserker is dead.
Wow.
Master was dumped into Arcane Blast. Spirit is hidden in the stack, so there's 1 hunted hero 2 remaining for him.
Oh, you know
and then
what?
only basics.
That's true, and we have no tactics used by Chad, and like I wonder if he might go for a Delguan, not Delguan, Secret Tunnels Faithful Servant play here to just eat that 3 for free. And then at that point, he doesn't even have enough to defend, I don't think.
Yes, probably. I guess Chad could also have still at least a Soldier 2, and then Ultimate Sack can also take out the Hunter 2. Forge Father can take out the Brute 3. And then you're just either defending away Spirit or just winning the game already.
Yeah, true.
Also, just counting cards a bit. We've seen the same number of heroes used up for Chad, so there's only a hero 2 remaining on his side, and that might just be Sentry.
I wonder. Well, the funny thing
I think it's pretty much public knowledge.
I looked at their decks, but I
Yeah,
can't
go ahead.
remember what his other 2 heroes because I was basically just skimming to make sure he met all the requirements. I should really pay more attention to what they have in their decks when I do those deck checks.
Yeah, just for clarity, I didn't even try to check the decks, just so everything is hidden information and more exciting, at least for me.
It's true.
But I think it's pretty public knowledge that Chad loves Sentry, and that would be absolutely clutch in this situation.
Yeah.
Though also the timing is in his favor, so it might not need to come to that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and let's see. Have we seen both of the hero 2s for Cornix yet, or have we just seen the Master of the Hunt?
No, it was just Master dumped into Arcane Blast, and he still has a hero 2 remaining and then 2 more basics.
Okay. So
he has 1 card in hand, 2 in deck.
Interesting. So they both have a hero 2 potentially threatening with Sentry, which makes it scary for both of them.
Yes. I think it's also a really interesting situation in how do you even try to defend your gates as Cornix? Because if you try to move your Ogre Brute next to Forge Father, thanks to Servant, Forge Father can just sidestep and go into the gates or on the other path.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just leave the Ogre Brute in your gates, Forge Father just moves up next to it and then trades off and nearly moves in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So unless you can stack Brutes, but I think we've seen a bunch of Brutes already. Brute 1, Brute 1, Brute 2. I think we haven't seen Soldiers from his side, so there's likely a Brute 2 remaining still. He's not going for the push.
Okay.
I think he should go for the push.
Wow, what an interesting play.
I guess he's trying to save his gates.
Yeah. Maybe play a little more defensively there.
Yeah, move.
Okay.
With Servant.
Yep, as expected. He has 2 cards left in deck. Retreat to Tunnels.
And also retreating. Nice. So Cornix had 1 card in hand that he has to put on the bottom of the deck.
Yes.
And Forge Father only gets the +1 when attacking or being attacked, so if you wanted to defend him away, you only need 2 cards, but Cornix has no cards in hand, and the one's getting sieged away, so he would need 2 draw actions to get the 2 cards to defend. So I think this is pretty much GG here.
Yeah, let's see.
Because you can't really gain time on sieging cards away from Chad.
Okay, loses a hunter too.
And I guess having no cards in hand, you have to trade the Forge Father and move the big stack in the center.
Yeah,
so that you can also trade nearly off next turn.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's kind of what he's forced to do right now, right? Anything else is a loss for him, just instantly. I don't know what they're pinging there. Do you have any idea what they might be pinging?
Not sure.
Okay, yep, sure.
I think they're probably trying to work out the timing of everything. Maybe it also could have been an option to just walk the Brute into Chad's gates and then move the big stack in the center. But then you still have to clear 2 fighters in 1 turn that you can't do without Master.
And even if he had Sentry, it's in his deck at this point, which is unfortunate for him.
Yes, unless it's the very bottom card. So Neely now sieges away the top one. Then you trade the Hunter into Neely, and then you can draw your last card.
Yeah.
Chad might just be running out of value here.
Yeah,
just before winning the game.
He still has 4 tactics, though. Like, I wonder what he could be using over here.
I guess you could try doing a Soldier 2 into Ultimate Sack.
2. And, oh no,
Delver.
He's
just setting up for another siege.
That's tough, having Delver, because that puts a lot of pressure on the gates now, too.
Yeah, so Delver can just teleport to one of the corners, and then with Ultimate Sack, he moves in the gates, gets sacrificed, but then delivers the Soldier 1 for the final siege. So that's a big threat. And you can't deal with both Neely and Delver.
Yes. Okay, so yep, takes that trade.
And also...
Oh, go ahead.
And also, Cornix is really, really low on cards in total. So he has that stack and then 1 card in deck, and that's it. So he will have to face having to take forced actions and might just needing to walk off his gates, even though he doesn't want to.
Yep.
And Chad still has 8 cards currently after drawing for the turn in hand, while Cornix only has 3 in total, so...
Wow.
The value is definitely favoring Chad.
I know one tactic I remember seeing in Chad's deck, and I'm really interested to see when and how he utilizes it. But I won't spoil it for everyone else.
Okay. So I think it's the Hero 2 left in Cornix's hand right now.
Yes.
And that also means that Spirit has to walk somewhere. Ooh, Recruitment Drive.
That's the tactic I remembered him having, because that's just going to force him to chip away at those ones. And he has
that's the perfect late game protection.
2 cultists in hand also to add to that stack to buy him time if he needs.
Yeah, and if Cornix has Sentry in hand, he must use both of his actions on his turn. So he does whatever with Spirit, probably walks somewhere, and then he must deploy Sentry.
Yeah, that's true.
So then Sentry can be taken out before he can prevent the siege. Red, I believe it's just 1 Hero 2 in hand left for Cornix. Chad also has a hero 2 left. Right? Oh no, because it was
it's
Forge Father and now Delver.
Delver. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, but he still has 4 tactics to go, one of which must be ultimates. Like I can't imagine Chad playing without ultimates. Like.
I know it's hard to make a Delguan deck without putting ultimate sacrifice in it.
Right.
I think I did that one time, and I just regretted it the entire match. I just kept thinking, wow, if I had ult sac, I could do something really cool here.
Yeah, it's just such a good all-around card.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you even do here with a hero 2 in hand? Spirit Walks either in the center or one of the corners. You probably put the hero 2... Oh, I guess you can stack on top of Spirit.
That's true.
And then you don't have to move. But then, what does that really accomplish? Because next turn you still have to move, and then it's just 1 stack you have.
Mm-hmm.
In the late game like this, it's much better, I think, to have like fighters spread out instead of stacked, because then you can... Ooh. That's just a little too late.
Yep, if ult sac is
yeah, so I think it's... Yeah, it has to be ult sac.
Yep, sure enough. Okay, yeah, and I think you have great point. Having multiple fighters in the end stage like this is much nicer than having one big stack.
Yes, because then you can much easier handle the having to take the forced actions and not having to move out of your gates. Wow, this was also a big comeback game. I thought the pressure from Cornix, especially from so early on, it didn't look great. It didn't look great for Chad, and I'm not even sure how he managed to claw his way back.
Yeah, somehow he did. All right, well, Speed, thanks for commentating. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the other room to hear some thoughts from the players, but appreciated your thoughts. It was like a really fun one to commentate. Really interesting game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.
Okay, guys, nice match. That was a crazy one.
Which was really good.
Yeah, the Forge Father was scary. I didn't have way to defend. That's why I retreated here.
Yeah, that was smart. You played it very well, because I think if you don't push back there, if you like move forward and deploy or something, then it looks pretty bad for you, I think. Or yeah, you're in kind of a rough spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did a great job retreating there. I think I just had enough enough little cultists to just throw into my gates to keep stalling. So yeah, excellent game. That was fantastic.
Did you save Earthquake for Master of the Hunt?
I was, yeah, that was an idea. I assumed you maybe had Master, and then I was likely thinking you had Chimera. So often Chimera can get deployed into the corners, so I was worried about that. When I traded with your Berserker and then I took it back, that was because I was worried about Chimera flying into the middle and popping my 1, and then you trading up here. So I instead moved here and then attacked, and attacking there meant that you could deploy there and do it instead. So I was like, why did I do that? But you still had cannon shot, so you're actually able to still do it, but not for the reasons kind of that I was worried of, which was really, really good on you to have kind of that double security. I think if you had Chimera there, that would have been worse for me, because now you're also threatening to siege with Chimera. But one of the reasons I was so scared is because I didn't have 2 of my 3s yet when I had 6 cards left in deck, or 7 cards left in deck at that point. And so I was worried about if I like double attack and trade with your Hunter 3, you could trade with Berserker into my Hunter and then kill and siege me with a 1 and a 2, and then be threatening with a 3 and a 1 afterwards. And you actually would have... Yeah, right. Yeah. Good on you. You were doing really well with stacking. Really impressive. The Elder into Berserker stack was incredible. That was magnificent because it basically said Berserker is going to carry everything afterwards with it, which is terrifying, and it let you create a stack that you wouldn't normally create. Yeah, fantastic play. So I think Forge Father really saved me the day. Once I knew Cannon Shot was gone, I'm like, okay, all right, Forge
Yeah,
Father's
that
going
was
down.
the downside of it.
So yeah, excellent. Yeah, you played really well.
Yeah,
Played
so
really
well
well.
played then, Chad. I think if I deployed Chimera, it wouldn't have changed anything with old sack.
Yeah, that's true. Old sack. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh yes. If you had deployed there, correct, it would not have because I would have moved in old sack. I think I was good regardless. Because I had the two on top instead of the one. Um, so yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, great game, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think this is one of examples when having free advantage, but you're still losing because it gets kited. The free gets traitless free gets kited.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. It's one of those where,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
because at one
he's
point you were up
like
2-3s on me.
unkillable, but well, you can defend everywhere.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of Shardsworn's balance is they have a number of ways to they have a number of ways to trade up into threes, but sometimes it costs a lot of their ones and twos and other tactics, and so then the opponent, if depending on what they have, can threaten that on a similar vein, then they're in a good spot. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Sure, yeah. I'm not sure if spending master on Arcane Blast was even a smart move.
Right? Yeah. If you have master there at the end, if you are threatening a siege, then your spirit can kill two of my cultists at a time, which is so much harder for me to deal with. My plan was I was like, hey, when I was like, okay, I have Earthquake for Master of the Hunt, and then all your traded threes were dying, so I'm like, okay, Ultimate Sacrifice can deal with Master of the Hunt. Like I kept being like, okay, Deep Rock Delver can deal. Like what's my answer to this Master of the Hunt? So, yeah, well played, very well played.
Yeah, well played. Nice game.
So, yeah, well, yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for
Thanks.
playing, and hopefully we can play again soon sometime.
Sure thing, sure.
All right. Yeah.
And
Thanks,
thank you,
guys.
David, for everything.
Oh yeah, of course. It was
And
super fun
thank
watching this game. It was a super good one.
you, GudnakGuy.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah,
Hope you guys have a great Saturday.
yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Bye.
thanks for
Bye.
everything.
Yep. Yeah. No problem. All right. Take care, guys.
Sounds good. Bye.
Okay, and everyone else on the video still, we have one last game before we're entering the quarterfinals now. So let me just go ahead and put that schedule up on the board over here. So yeah, last match next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Unmatched versus Pause, and I think that's shaping up to be a really good game. So don't miss that one. And thanks for tuning in today. See you guys.